Hi guys, welcome back to I Sew with Joy. Today we're going to be making an easy pouch that you can attach to your keychain. Let's say you're running to the gym, you're running a quick errand, and you just want something where you can put your credit cards and some cash. I have different options on my website at isewithjoy.com, but this is going to be another one, so let's go ahead and get started. So to make this, you're going to need your fabric pieces. These are the fabric pieces I want to use, and basically you can get the pattern available on my website for the size. And then you're going to need some webbing. So this one here, it's about 6 inches. So you're going to cut, it's 6 inches in length and 1 inch in width. So that's what you're going to have. You need 2 pieces of fabric. You do need your O-ring or a D-ring if you have that. Those are 2 options you can have. And then you're going to need some snaps. So again, you can't have too many options when it comes to having little cute purses. And the other great thing about this is you can either give them out as gifts or you can also make them to sell. So let's get this started. Okay, so I have already attached my medium weight interface into this, and as you can see, I use pieces. You don't always have to have a clean piece. You can always use the pieces you have left over from other projects. So I've attached it, or I've ironed it onto the wrong side. So I'm going to flip this over on the right side, and I'm going to take my webbing and put it right in the middle here. I've already marked that out, and you probably can't see it with the lighting, but I've marked it out towards the middle here, and I'm going to put that like so. Then next, I'm going to take my other fabric piece, and I'm going to put it right on top of that and carefully add that on there as well so that it stays in place. And then next I'm going to just sew them both down the sides. Okay, so this is now done. I have sewn both sides down, and next I'm going to take this and fold it in half and just open up the middle here. And I want to align it to the other side, the other half, with this opened up. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now be careful not to sew the webbing. We're not doing that just yet. The other part of the hand of the webbing, or the other end. And just open this up like so. Find this other side. Make sure it's properly aligned. Clips and hold it down like so. So now all you're going to do is just fold these pieces in half. Make sure it's flat. And then you're going to sew around, leaving a space for to turn it around. So I'm just going to mark that with my marking chalk right here. So I'm going to sew this here, and then sew here, and then leave that part, and then sew it all down. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to just trim off the edges just to make sure that when I turn it inside out, it lays flat. But I have the piece here that I didn't sew, so I'm going to use this part here to turn it inside out. Okay, so now this is fully turned inside out, and I have the piece here that I left open. So all I'm going to do is quickly run a straight stitch down to close that up. Okay, I have finished stitching this down, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it inside so that stitch is hidden on the inside. Now, if you were to use an invisible stitch or a ladder stitch, you could probably have that side be on the inside, but since I use my machine and I want to make sure that it isn't visible, that's why I'm doing it this way. But you know, you have options. You don't have to stick with just the one. Okay, and we're just going to try to get this to lay fully flat like so after this is all done. Try to make sure everything is flat. You can see here. Okay, so now the next thing you're going to do is measure out the area here where this is going to go, and also measure out a little tab here where you're going to affix your snaps. So now I should mention that if you want, you have the option to sew this around with just a flat stitch around if you want a more flatter look. I just don't feel like I need to do that. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out where my ring's gonna go. So here at the bottom, I'm measuring from where it's inserted into the fabric to where I want it, and I'm gonna measure about 1 inch there. So say about an inch. Okay, so that's where I want my ring to sit. And then for the top here, which is what the pull for this little purse, I am going to measure about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so now next thing what we're going to do is we're going to take this, your O-ring or your D-ring, depending on what you have. You're going to take this and you're going to place it right at the line right there and fold it up. Now once you fold it up, you're going to go ahead and sew this down. Get this here, you want to sew it down, and you're going to take this where you had marked before and also sew that down. So you're sewing this down and you're sewing this down as well. Okay, so this is done and this part is done. So now the last thing you're going to do is attach your snaps. So I'm going to measure where I want my snaps to be. I want it approximately 1 inch down. So I'm going to mark that here. And I'm going to use my handy dandy tool. Remember, oh, wrong tool. The one with the pointy end, because this doesn't really help me. And I'm going to take this and put a hole through. Now, you only put in a hole through the top part, not the back part. Okay, so you don't want to put a hole through here. You're just putting it through this part here and the front piece here. Okay, so just going to put it down. And kind of mark that. You can put your finger in. Be careful not to poke your finger. See, nothing, and through here. And then once you've identified that, you're going to put this here through it. And put the other piece through on the bottom part.